So today we're looking at the LG QNED 90. It's LG's top-of-the-line quantum dot 4K TV that utilizes mini LED technology. I have the 65-inch model, but it's also available in 75 and 86 inches. Pricing varies based on sales, so I'll leave links to each model in the description that will give you the most up-to-date pricing. The 2021 65-inch QNED is a great-looking TV. From the front, the screen goes from edge to edge with minimal bezel. The sides of the TV are made of metal, which makes the TV feel premium when you're picking it up. The back of the TV is pretty solid with only slight flex near the 400 by 400 base amount and inputs. Speaking of the inputs, they are side facing, which makes them easy to access whenever the TV is wall mounted. The cable management clips on the backside can be removed carefully if for some reason they were pre-installed. This will allow the TV to sit flush up against the wall whenever you mount it. For an LCD style TV, it's also quite thin with a thickness of about 1.22 inches. Overall, it feels and looks like you would expect from a high-end TV. The stand consists of 2 feet that mount in a single position along the bottom. They seem sturdy, but there is still slight wobble when pressing on the TV or during heavy vibrations. The biggest problem with the stand is that the feet attach at the ends, so your table needs to at least be the same width of the TV. The exact dimensions of the 65-inch are 47.8 inches by 11.7 inches. Additionally, there's about 2.5 inches of clearance under the TV with the stand attached. I do wish it was a little bit higher so that way soundbars could slide under the TV slightly, but in any case, most will fit in front without any obstruction. The feet also feature cable management slots on the backside. When combined with the included straps on the back of the TV, you can make sure everything stays nice, tidy, and clean, which I'm a fan of. Going back to the inputs and outputs, there are 4 HDMI ports. Ports 3 and 4 support HDMI 2.1 with 4K signals up to 120 Hz. Unfortunately, the third port is also the eARC port, so if you're planning on connecting 2 next-gen gaming systems to the TV, you will not be able to connect a soundbar through eARC. I think most people will be totally fine with this. It's only going to affect you if you're wanting to utilize the maximum output out of both gaming systems and take advantage of Dolby Atmos audio. But there are workarounds. The QNED 90 also features 2 USB 2.0 ports, 1 RF connection input, 1 Ethernet port, 1 mini jack, and 1 optical port. The 2021 QNED comes with an updated Magic Remote. It has quick launch buttons on the bottom for Netflix, Prime Video, Disney+, LG channels, Google Assistant, and Amazon's voice assistant. It's comfortable to use, and I really enjoy the cursor-like functionality of LG's Magic Remotes. The point and clicking capabilities are pretty cool, and overall, I like the experience. LG updated their WebOS software for their 2021 TV lineup. Compared to the older versions of WebOS, it's improved significantly in my opinion. It is a little bit busier, but everything is laid out nicely, and I found myself adapting to it pretty quickly. Not to mention, it's also snappier and more responsive. This is in part due to the software being better optimized and also the A7 Gen 4 processor inside, which uses deep learning to optimize system performance, image quality, and sound clarity. There are a few new features within WebOS, such as Sports Alert. If you're a sports fan, you're going to love this. It displays updates on your favorite teams, start times, and scores even while watching other content. You can click on the notification or update to quickly switch to the game. Pretty nice. You also get Apple TV, Apple AirPlay 2, and HomeKit support within the software. There are other software updates and features within this new version of WebOS. I think LG did a great job revamping it, and I think they're on the right path when it comes to software. Overall, I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Let's talk about the most important aspect of any TV, the display. When it comes to the QNED 90 that I have here, the display is good, but it does have some issues. It really comes down to the settings that you use. I'll link the settings that I'm currently using in the description, as this is how I used and tested out the TV. The contrast levels are great for an IPS panel as long as you have local dimming on high, which is where the new mini LED backlight really shines. The image is super punchy and colors really pop while still having a natural look to them. The peak brightness in SDR or standard non-HDR content is exceptional. It's bright enough to overcome most reflections, but you still might get the occasional glare depending on the room the TV is in. Exact numbers can vary from panel to panel, but based on what I've seen, you can expect a peak SDR brightness around 950 nits, give or take. But remember, this comes down to the settings that you're currently using. Switching things over to HDR content, the QNED 90 is even more impressive. It supports Dolby Vision, HDR10, and HLG content, which pretty much covers all your bases. The amount of detail in the highlights and shadows when consuming HDR content is incredible. It's actually difficult to show on video and is something that's best to experience in person. The contrast levels are really good for a non-OLED display, and colors are extremely vibrant. Again, numbers will vary from panel to panel and on the settings you're using, but based off what I'm seeing, you can expect a peak and sustained brightness of over 1000 nits, which is excellent. Image clarity and sharpness across the board is fantastic. LG's processor does a pretty good job when it comes to upscaling and optimizing content that's not in 4K. That said, I have run into a few issues. When on a gray screen, the display can appear blotchy, which is an issue known as the dirty screen effect. While the QNED 90 is far better than the NanoCell TV I had a while back, it's still susceptible to these issues, just on a smaller scale. On the QNED 90 that I have here, it's still pretty visible, which might bother some people. When looking at the TV head-on, there is slight blooming around heavy, bright to dark contrasted areas, but for the most part, I would say it's decently controlled. This includes subtitles and bright text on dark backgrounds. This changes when I look at the TV from the side. While viewing angles themselves are good with well-controlled color shift and color washout, the blooming becomes very noticeable. On scenes with bright objects on a dark or black background, you can really see how far out the blooming extends. Granted, most people will not be watching their TVs from the side, but it's still something I wanted to mention and give you a heads up about. The gaming experience is top-notch, and it's one of the best out of all the TVs I've tested. This goes for SDR and HDR gaming. It supports variable refresh rates up to 120 Hz and low input lag. This means that the QNED 90 demonstrates a great response time with little blur when fast-moving objects appear on the screen. The game optimizer extends these capabilities and really helps dial in the settings for you. It also supports FreeSync Premium. These capabilities will minimize screen tearing, and it adds to an already excellent gaming experience, especially if you plan on connecting this TV to a PC. But you should be aware, you may need to adjust your FreeSync settings if you choose to go this route. If you're gaming at 60 Hz, FreeSync only works with the settings set to wide. At 120 Hz, high works, but the supported refresh rate range varies depending on the setting. When set to high, it only removes tearing between 95 and 120 frames per second. You'll need to set it to wide for the full refresh range. That said, the issues I spoke about earlier are still applicable to the gaming experience, but it's honestly still one of the best TVs to game on in my opinion. So, if this is your #1 purpose for this TV, I really don't think you'll be disappointed. To go along with the display, the speakers in the QNED 90 are pretty good. In fact, I would go as far as saying that if you don't own a soundbar, these will easily get you through until you have the money to buy one or the time to pick one up. Compared to the 86-inch NanoCell I had earlier this year, these sound night and day better. They rival the speakers found on some other high-end TVs. The only downside to them is the lack of bass, but that's to be expected in my opinion. The processor on board actually does a good job with AI sound, so if you don't feel like dialing in your own settings, the TV has your back. Here's a quick example of what they sound like.
There are places out there you can't find on any map. They're not gone. They're just lost.
Hey kid, a little young for a bartender, aren't you?
A little old for prom, aren't you?
There's everything in here. Why the map?
This path Ferdinand Magellan took to sail around the world.
You know your history.
It's the biggest treasure that's never been found. 5 billion.
The LG 65-inch QNED 90 is a great TV. Depending on when you see this video, it very well may be on sale. And if that's the case, I think it's a great pickup, especially if you're a fan of LG and are invested in some of their other products. Despite the issues I had with my specific unit, the image is still beautiful and it's a fantastic TV to play games on. Let me know what you think of the LG QNED 90. Do you plan on picking one up, or is there something else that you have your eyes on? Also, if there's another TV you want me to review, leave it down below in the comment section. Remember to use the links in the description if you're planning on grabbing one. I would greatly appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more videos just like this, and I'll see you beautiful people in the next one.